Hello friends, it's Tom Swiss here with you once again on the evening of Yule, the winter solstice. It is December 21st, and I wish you a blessed Yule. There's a little holiday cheer I've got going on here. A little lovely port. So I have put my holiday lights up and lit a few candles to burn through the evening. It is my usual little ritual here at the secret headquarters. But what I would like to talk to you about this evening is a poem by Charles Bukowski called The Laughing Heart. And that poem goes like this. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Be on the watch. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Be on the watch. The gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you. Pretty good poem for any time. I actually have that printed out and sitting on the back of my bedroom door, so even if I don't actually read it every day, it still impinges upon my eyeballs. But those passages about there is a light somewhere, it may not be much light, but it beats the darkness, and be on the watch. This seems like a good meditation for the winter solstice, for Yule, for the dark time of the year. Are we on the watch for the light or for the darkness? You know, it fascinates me that the whole phenomenon of the seasons and of the solstice is, you know, our planet. My fist is the planet there, and over here is the sun. Our planet is, of course, tilted as it moves around the sun, you know, in its orbit there. Not the most technologically sophisticated animation, but, you know, you understand that idea. So over here, you know, if we're in the northern hemisphere, over here, so here we are in the summer, we're leaning in towards the sun, we're looking towards the sun, we're warming our face in the fire. But then, well, here we are this time of year, and we're leaning away from the sun, we're looking out more into the void, more into the darkness of space, right? So the seasons are actually a product of which way that we look. And if we do not understand that what we see is largely a product of which direction in we look, then the darkness is frightening, right? We're looking over there, we're looking away from the sun. Oh no, the sun, the light's gone away. You know, at some point in human development, way back when we were just figuring out language and thinking and everything, you know, our distant ancestors, our proto-anthropoid ancestors, you know, at some point, some of them must have noticed that it's getting darker every day. The sun is not out as much. I don't like this pattern. You know, they weren't quite smart enough to have realized that it keeps doing this every year. You know, so at some point, you know, I wonder, there had to be people who looked up and said, you know, is this going to keep going? Is it just going to keep getting darker and colder and darker and colder? Or maybe in the summer, great, it's getting warmer and brighter. Oh, it's still getting warmer and brighter. It's still, is this going to end in fire? You know, because either end of it, we can't survive in just the light, and we can't survive in just the darkness. You know, it is a yin and yang pairing going on here. These things always have to be in balance. You know, if you think about a fire, be it a campfire or the sun, sitting out there in the middle of the darkness is actually a very interesting example of yin and yang pairings, because I think everybody understands that fire, light, these are yang, and darkness, cold, these are yin, right? Even if you know nothing about Taoism, nothing about Chinese medicine, you probably have heard that idea before, right? But it is also true that that which is external is yang, and that which is internal is yin. Let me say that again. Stick with me a minute. We're going to get to a really interesting point here, okay? So Bright, warm is yang, cool, dark is yin, exterior is yang, interior is yin. So we think about that fire, our campfire out in the cool, dark field, or the sun at the center of our little solar system, which is cold, dark, empty space, right? So as we move in the yin direction, as we move in to the center, we find that yang phenomenon right at the center. How very paradoxical, how very Taoist, that as we move right into the very yin center of things, we find that yang, warm, bright heart. Cool, man. Yeah, how paradoxical, how completely Taoist. But this is also, of course, the way that it is with us, especially here in this time of year, right? Here we are in the yin time of year. And so what do? We turn in, because it is the yin season as cold. But what do we find when we turn inside? Well, we end up gathering around that bright Yule log. We end up gathering around that bright Christmas tree. If we are Jewish, we gather around that bright menorah, the Festival of Lights. Hey, let's bring a little yang into our yin here, right? Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that we have so many traditions and rituals that are around light and heat and fire here in the yin time of the year. Who would have thought, right? But also this time of year, we have many myths and stories and legends and traditions about turning inwards into our own heart here. And perhaps when we do that, perhaps as we move in that yin direction, inside, centripetally, perhaps there we find more bright yang energy than we thought we did. Consider such classic holiday legends as Ebenezer Scrooge and the Grinch, whose heart grew 3 sizes that day. So I hope that this Yule season you may remember Bukowski's words, "You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you." Blessed Yule, everyone, and we'll see you next time.